Hi, fellow traders. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. So welcome to another edition of Rollin with Ed. We're going to address a couple of questions here that I've been getting this week. The first one is, Ed, you keep saying that this is the perfect time to learn how to trade the markets. Why would you be saying that when the markets are in turmoil like this? And, that's a very good question. And the reason why I keep saying that is that the best time to learn is when the market is unstable. Because you're going to learn how the market moves. You're going to learn how to deal with these emotional swings. Now, we trade the market. The market moves based on emotion. There's no doubt about that. We see that every day. But learning how to trade these emotional swings, learning how to manage your risk in times like this. When you learn in the toughest times, you come out on the other end so much more prepared to trade an average everyday market than you would if you started in good times. No, fortunately for me, fortunately for me, I started, or unfortunately, I started when the market was really, really good. So as the market got softer, it was a lot more difficult for me to really reel in my discipline and my patience and everything. I think what helped me out a lot was the fact that I was doing this at work. And so patience was forced on me. So I didn't really have a choice. But learning to trade these markets, developing the patience and the sniper-like mindset, mentality that you need to navigate these markets is going to serve you well going forward. So I always think learning in the hardest times, getting beat up, is what's going to make you stronger coming out on the other end. The other reason why I think this is the best time is because, even though the catalyst is not a good catalyst, most often we do our best work under a negative catalyst. Take when I did the website ordeal for me. For 3 years, I've been dealing with trying to get this website done through different people and everything. But it took a negative catalyst. It took that negative situation that I was in to get me to act. And I built in several hours what I've been trying to do for 3 years. And I started from scratch. I didn't use anything that was done previously. I started from a new platform from scratch and, put it together. So, even though this catalyst is very, very negative, it's tragic, but it's going to force us to act. And if you ever needed something behind you, something to push you to learn this is it. And it's going to make you more focused because failure won't be an option. Because those of you that are facing uncertain times, and a lot of you are, some of you may be out of work already. You may be looking at being laid off. And sitting there looking at your family, not really knowing what's going to happen 3 months from now, 6 months from now. You may not be prepared. That's the worst feeling in the world. And believe me, I've been through that. I have. I've sat in a bankruptcy court feeling as helpless and as humbled as I've ever been in my whole life. And I don't wish that on anybody. But yeah, I had to make tough decisions. My son was born at 23 weeks. And, we had almost $2 million in hospital bills. The insurance covered half of it, just about. I had to take out a second mortgage on a house that I was still underwater in. But during that time, this was right before the mortgage crisis. they were lending twice the value of your house. You know, they didn't care how much underwater you were. But I had to do all that because I had to make sure my son was taken care of. I would do it again if I had to. But I know now that I never have to be in that position again. And, you know, I don't want anybody to ever have to wake up and wonder, how am I going to take care of my family? You know, what am I going to leave for my family? Because right now it's not about us. In these uncertain times, it's about how are we going to take care of our family? What kind of financial legacy are we going to leave so that if something happens to us, they're going to be okay? That's what all this is about. And using this catalyst, using this drive, it's going to force you to do what you need to do to learn. And I'm not talking about spending a ton of money, because it doesn't cost money to learn. It doesn't cost all this money to learn. You shouldn't be trading your hard-earned money in the market while you're learning. Now, I have a lot of people that will send me a message and say, hey, as soon as I get my account funded, I'm going to join and I'm going to start trading with you. And I tell them, no, that is the wrong mindset. What you want to do is you want to learn how to trade first. You want to take, 3 to 6 months, learn how to actually trade, learn how the markets work, learn how to dance with the market, how to get in rhythm with it. And when the market's playing music you can't feel, then you know to sit on your behind and wait till the music comes on, wait till your jam comes on, and then you get out there and start dancing. All of this you need to learn before you start throwing your money into the market. If you do that, there's a very good chance that you will not lose all of your money in the market, that you will start making money. Okay? You'll start out making a little bit at a time and it'll eventually grow. But if you just jump in and you try to trade alongside of learning, trading real money versus trading in a simulator, it's gonna hurt you. Again, I know from experience. Okay, I had to work side jobs to keep putting money in my account so that I could keep trading. And I was learning by losing money. And you don't want to do that. I wasn't smart enough to get into a simulator. I didn't know at the time that using Thinkorswim that all I had to do was pick up the phone and call and ask them for to get real time in their simulator. I always thought it was just using their paper account, you're gonna get 15-minute delayed data. But if you have a live account, pick up the phone and call them, and you got it, and you got a free paper trading platform. But I was using it on demand. I did use it on demand, and it was great. And I would spend 2-3 hours at night, and I think that helped shorten my learning curve. I really think that did. And so it doesn't cost money to learn. This is the best time to learn. Okay, you have a catalyst. Okay, you have a catalyst. This is what you want. And guys, I play it smart. I'm riding through the stores to see if people are coming out with toilet paper and paper towels. If they do, then I'm going in. If not, I'm staying in my car. And hot damn, it looks like they got it. So I'm gonna sign off here. I'm gonna come back on and finish this up. I got one more question that's a quick answer, but I'll come back in and answer that here in a minute. This lady's walking down the middle of the driveway, right down the middle. I don't understand why people do that, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, guys, I'm back. You can see I'm loaded. I loaded down. My mom was short on paper towels and toilet paper. So I've been out. I just ride out every day to see if people are coming out of Sam's with the toilet paper and paper towels. And today was the day. So I ran in and grabbed some and ran back out. So I'm gonna go drop this off at her house and she'll be happy. But to sum up what I was saying earlier, this is the best time to learn, because number one, the turmoil in the market is gonna toughen you up, and you're gonna be better prepared for the normal market swings. And number two, you have a catalyst. Okay, it's a negative catalyst, but oftentimes the negative catalyst is what drives you to do extraordinary things. And we never want to be in this position again to where we don't know what's going to happen. If we don't have money coming in, is the government going to help sustain us, or are they just going to leave us hanging? All of this uncertainty, we never want to deal with this stuff again. So that's going to drive you to do better. I know I used that catalyst of everything I went through, the uncertainty and all of that. I used that to drive me into learning how to trade, and to put in those extra hours and to work those little odd jobs to make extra money, so that I could be where I am right now, where I don't have to worry about where my next paycheck is coming from, and that it's a good feeling. So this is the time, and you don't have to want to do this for a living. You can do this just to make extra money to put up. So when you retire, you're going to be able to either retire early or retire comfortably. You don't have to try and make a living off trading. And that's another big misconception people have, is they think that if you're going to be a trader, you have to make a living off of it, and you don't. You can still do them. If you love your job and you love your business, you can continue to use that and be in your business. But this will be something that if something happens, you go through downturns, slow times, this is something that you can do to help sustain you. So, that's why I say this is the best time to be in the market and to be learning how to trade the markets and build some generational wealth. I mean, that's what a lot of these big guys do. The next question was just centered around my swing trading class. I stopped recording new classes. I stopped doing new live classes, because the reason why I redo the classes every year is so that we could use the relevant information at that time. And I don't advocate swing trading, especially if you're just starting out in these market conditions. There are other ways to trade it. There are other ways to make money. The longer term strategy, like all day holds, I'm going to start the class on that this Wednesday. We're going to do the full class. I know I did a webinar for bare bull traders a couple weeks ago. You can't do so much in a 1-hour webinar. Just kind of introduce it. But we're going to do the whole class. We're going to break it down, and it should be over 2, maybe 3 classes. But I know 2, because all before I've done it in 2 classes. But we're going to do that on Wednesday. So if you're getting into swing trading, and this is a safer way to take advantage of the daily volatility, the daily swings in the market. So we're going to be introducing that. I usually bring this in later into the day trading class, because you have to develop the patience and the discipline in order to actually trade these strategies. But if you're starting out swing trading, if you're starting brand new at the beginning of swing trading, then this strategy is going to segue you into being able to hold overnight and all of that. But that was the easy answer. You know, I want the class to be recorded in the relevant times now. So once we come out of this and we come off the bottom, our oversold hooks are going to be off the chain. We're going to get some 20 EMA crosses. There are going to be some companies like Blue Apron that's going to be popping off the top. And you know, we'll be doing 52-week high breakouts on some of these stocks. So I'm going to be doing that starting Wednesday for our Wednesday classes. So I believe that's it. That's going to wrap it up. I'm going to head over here to my mom's, take care of her, and then I'll go back home and we'll go ahead and get this out for you. Oh, there are the missionaries. We're not going to church, so they're out and about. So you guys have a great rest of the weekend, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.